it's not as if my career has been without disappointments. Just like your life, Sonya. I've suffered too. Well, I'm a movie star, but am I known as a classical actress on the stage?
No, you're not.
Exactly. That's a path I didn't get to take. Oh, remember when that famous acting teacher was going to cast me as Masha in Three Sisters? He said I was born to play that role. Imagine how wonderful I would have been. Oh, my sisters, let us go to Moscow. To Moscow, let us go. I would have said that with an ache in my voice and my soul, and it would have been heartbreaking. I don't think the public knows how heartbreaking I can be. Oh, missed opportunities, regret, regret, regret.
Regret.
Please don't change the focus to yourself, Sonya. I'm talking now. You can talk later.
When?
4:30. No. That famous acting teacher said I was born to play the classics, and that once I did Three Sisters, he said I would have one classical triumph after another. I'd be the American Judi Dench. But I had to go do that movie about the nymphomaniac serial killer. It was a terrible script, but I was so good in it. It became this enormous hit, and of course we made 5 of them eventually. Did you see all of them?
Oh, yeah. No, we certainly did. We liked it very much. They were extremely violent, though. Sonya had to look away from the screen a lot. Yes, I did.
Oh, darling, sensitive, tedious Sonya. You can't face life, can you? No, don't answer. You can talk at 4:30.
Wait, why 4:30?
That's my nap time. I'm kidding. 4:30 is the cocktail hour, half an hour early. I usually have a Black Russian and a drink as well. I'm amusing myself, I'm sorry. Anyway, I was saying that movie, Sexy Killer, really changed my life. You know, it took me from being a respected actress to being a worldwide celebrity, and there is a difference. Fame, thou glittering bauble. Who said that?
Captain Hook.
The real Captain Hook?
There wasn't a real Captain Hook. It was just from Peter Pan.
Fame, thou glittering bauble. Such an interesting thing for a pirate to say. And then they begged me to do a sequel, and it seemed inescapable to me. We did 5 of them, and those movies made me millions. But my point was the theater lost a great classical actress when I didn't play my namesake Masha in that famous acting teacher's production of Three Sisters. That's my point.
You keep talking about this famous acting teacher. Who are you referring to?
Derek Saretsky.
Who?
Derek Saretsky. Well, maybe he wasn't famous. He was famous to me.
When did you study with him?
Oh, many years ago. I can't remember dates or decades. I just live. I recall I had 3 fabulous sessions with him. He taught a combination of Stanislavskian sense memory mixed with Meisner repetition technique. I'd say, "Oh, Olga, let's go to Moscow." And he'd say back to me, "Oh, Olga, let's go to Moscow?" And I'd say, "Oh, Olga, let's go to Moscow." And he'd say, Oh, Olga, let's go to Moscow." And then I said, "Ho, ho, ho, let's go to Moscow, Olga, Moscow, Olga, oh, Olga, let's go." I'm sorry, this is sounding incredibly false as I'm saying it. It makes one think I would have been horrible in Three Sisters. Maybe I would have been. No, I would have been great. Let's not talk about this anymore. Let's talk about something else. Sonya, what's new with you? I prefer caffeinated tea.
I'm sorry about what I said about Spike taking Nina home. Actually, he mumbled and I'm not sure what he said. I hope he'll be back very soon. I just don't want you to be unhappy.
Thank you.
Although you don't seem to care whether I'm unhappy since you want to sell the house out from under us.
I pay all the bills and it's too expensive.
Fine. Vanya and I will get prescription sleeping pills and kill ourselves. Will that make you happy?
You enjoy complaining too much to kill yourself. You'll go to your grave complaining. And you cheated on your costume tonight. You said you were going as the evil queen, but nobody got mirror from you. They got Dame Maggie Smith winning a fucking Oscar. If you had gone as a dwarf, my costume would have worked. Snow White needs at least 3 dwarfs for her costume to make sense.
Stop talking about your costume. I'm sick of hearing about it.
I should have gone to Equity and hired 7 Equity actors to be all 7 dwarfs. Then you and Vanya could have just stayed home.
Well, I'm glad that we went to the party and people liked me. Yes, they did. And I had a good time, didn't I, Sydney?
I should have known better than to let you choose your own costume. Anyone who wears a tiara and sequins is always going to be the winner.
Masha, you have won in so many ways throughout your life. You really cannot survive one night where I wore a costume that people liked more than one that you wore. Not even for one night you're willing to let me outshine you.
You often outshine me.
When?
I don't know. When I'm not here, you outshine me. Besides, it's unimportant who preferred whose costume at some stupid party. I'm just having a hard time, do you mind? I'm getting older. My 5 marriages didn't work out. I had this young man, I thought, but he seems to be lusting after Nina and at least 5 other women at the party. He's clearly oversexed. I just feel old and vulnerable. Forgive me for having feelings.
We have feelings too. I'm unhappy too. I haven't lived. You've had 5 marriages, they failed, but you had them. My relationships with men have been limited to, here's your change, ma'am, at the supermarket. And I took care of your parents, Vanya. And I did, and then we never left because I didn't know how to leave. We just became numb from 15 years of taking care of them.
Well, I'm sorry you felt numb, but I was working so I could pay the bills.
And then when they both got Alzheimer's, his was worse. He was always taking off his clothes, going to the neighbor's garage where he'd sit naked in their car until they came out to use it. We were always apologizing for him.
This is all in the past. Get over it.
You just left us here. If I tried to reach you, you were always filming in Morocco or something. After a while, they stopped recognizing me, but they talked about you constantly. Where's Masha? They'd say to me, she's making a fucking movie, I'd say. And then they'd say, well, isn't that wonderful? She's so pretty and delightful. And then I'd change their diapers, all while thinking, why isn't Masha here?
I was paying the bills. I was paying your bills. I paid for the house, the doctors, the food. I paid for the snow plowing. I paid for the lawn care. I paid for the heat, the electricity. I sent you both a monthly stipend because I knew you couldn't work and what you were doing was hard. And I'm sorry if you hated taking care of them, but someone had to earn the money, and that someone was me.
I didn't hate taking care of them. I just said that it was hard. And sometimes I liked it. They needed me. They needed Vanya. And when they died, I felt sad. Sadder than you. You didn't even cry once at the funerals.
I hide my feelings.
Nonsense. You parade your feelings. You put them on display on stage and movies. It's exhausting to be around you.
And you exhaust me. Your self-pity exhausts me.
I'm glad that my costume stole your thunder and that people liked me as Maggie Smith and thought that I was fun. I like that. But you know, it's just so what? My life is pointless. I haven't lived. I haven't lived.
Well, I have lived and made my money and messed up my relationships. And now I have nothing. No one loves me. I have no future. My life is over.